Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to FSB Racing Live, Friday Night Winston Cup Series. I'm your host, Sean Reap. In the booth, as always, we've got the man, the myth, the monster, Milt Minter Jr. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? Summertime in the city.
Yeah, summertime in Talladega. We're about to heat up this track with quite a large field out there tonight at Talladega BR, and Rick Bisconner there on the pole with our series admin Ryan Johnson outside, looking to lead him to the green tonight. Already got Barrett McKay checking in their YouTube chat saying, hope we don't have any flips tonight. Oh, and little Will Farmer checking in from the grid there. Good. Will Farmer won that Tuesday night chicken run race here, snookered us all and saved some fuel. And, yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen a good flip here in a while, even though these are 1988 cars, the truck physics still have roof flaps. It could happen. We're going to try not to have it happen. We're actually going to think green thoughts here, Barrett. We're gonna try and get through all the way, because green flag stops at FSB, that's just how we roll.
Well, you look at the starting grid, there are just totally some new names up there we're not used to seeing. This is Talladega, and you're used to seeing DeCenza.
Oh, he's up there. Look now. The return of the number 3 car on the outside of row 2, Mark DeCenza, qualifies fourth with Bob Dixon, a super speedway specialist, super speedway qualifying specialist, particularly up there in P3. So those are some really good laps to knock him off the pole. Ed Fowler looking for some luck there. He said he needs a good run. I was talking to him before the race. He's looking to hook up with his Outsiders teammates, Bill Farmer, Will Farmer, Ed Finley, and they're going to try and make some stuff happen tonight. So look for the 05 Bojangles machine to move to the front. He always runs good at super speedways, particularly Talladega. Cody Luke, strong effort there in 6th in the 86 car. That Papyrus machine, you see it rolling off pit road right now off my right shoulder. And they got, the aforementioned Farmers, their series sponsor, Bill Farmer and Farmer Brothers Contracting, and Will Farmer in the 95 McQueen machine.
Nose to tail.
Yeah, and Brad Otto, there you see him also rolling off pit road. He puts the 31 Marine machine 9th. Jeff Abick in the 101 car, strong top 10 qualifying effort. The 007 of Dan Jones, my teammate and friend. And Ken Hansen, 9 car. I know he always has the strategy of just survive at super speedways, so I don't know. Play your cards right, and then there he goes too in the number 9 machine. Every time I talk about someone, they drive by on pit road here. It's just like, it's like I planned it or something.
Karma, man.
But yeah, Ken Hansen, that's not an unsound strategy. Just keep the car under you and see what happens. Rick Castle, lucky 13th in the 124. Steve Weber in the 83. Isaac Johnson puts at 15th. Ed Finley, Ken Hill, Francis Dittman, Evan Castle, and then our Canadian friend John Doucette, who just parked right in front of me on pit road. Rounds out your top 20 there in the 6 car.
Raptors win.
Yes.
Canada.
I believe he's from Nova Scotia, if I'm not mistaken.
That's still Canada.
It's a pretty darn big country.
That's where the Great Bender, one of our original 6 or 8 of us when we started FSB, the Great Bender, Rob Rogerson from Nova Scotia.
I see that John Doucette has parked in Rick Bisconner's pit stall, and Rick Bisconner has taken exception to this.
Wow, do you see that backup?
Yeah, he's trying to push him out. We got just a few minutes left here in happy hour, so it's free time to mess around. Let's round out this field real quick, though. John Palmer in the 108, Dave Simons, Chet Barkin, Pops Margison, Sam Young, T.G. Reese, all taking provisionals. Let's see who else we got here. And I believe Dunn Francesconi, he told me he was going to try and run tonight. Oh, and Rick Castle's 29. That looks like he logged in at the wrong number and came back with his correct one. So yeah, we got, how many people aren't running? 1, 2,
Drivers, to your cars.
3, 4. So 4 of that 31 are definitely not running. So we got a 27 car field tonight, approximately. It's a pretty good showing. Everybody wants to get out for Talladega, you know?
Don't know how far can they go? Probably maybe 20 laps, but
Typical super speedway, 18 to 20 laps, yeah.
Are they going to use the undercut? 16s, a couple 16s and 15s will get you 76. That's providing it stays green, and that the most important thing is going to be, of course, not wrecking, but then it's going to be that first pit stop. The numbers say that, and I don't have those figures here with me at this time, but numbers say, that first run stays pretty clean, and then you got to make those green flag stops. That's when all hell breaks loose.
Well, engines have been fired, and cars are rolling off pit road.
Other guys in this mix that you haven't seen up there, a nice top 10 qualifying for Brad Otto, and Cody Luke is up there, P6. Got some new cast of characters there trying to make an effect here and see how they handle the stressfulness of Talladega. There's nothing to me more stressful than being inches away from the car in front of you and inches behind.
Absolutely.
The car inches behind you is a constant. You focus more in this type of plate racing than you do in road racing.
Absolutely. This is mentally exhausting. Other tracks take more physical skill, more finesse with the wheel, more gas brake, sort of situations. But super speedway racing, it's not a lesser skill; it's a different skill.
Let's make our picks. I'm going with that guy in the 59, Ryan Johnson. Dead computer issues and mic issues, I think. Well, no, that was
Dog.
Bill Farmer, and but this is the kind of race I like his style, and I think he's going to fade right in there and try to get to that bottom, second, third.
Yeah, it's super speedway racing. Anything can happen. You know who's done it twice here on a Friday night already? Is that 007, my teammate, my wingman, Dan Jones. Gonna go with Mr. Bond.
Ryan Johnson, James Bond.
Barrett McKay picking the 3 car. That's a sound pick at Talladega. Pace car's off, and they make that long trek to start-finish line here at the exit of the Tri-Oval.
Well, I've been off for a while, and then I've come back and had some focus, and I'm no way as good as that 3 guy, but yeah, I like his chances too.
Green flag in the air, and
he's fresh.
Rick Bisconner leads him to the start.
Wants to go. Gonna be focused. The veteran, many years there, Mark DeSenza. See what happens here.
Wow, Rick Bisconner got a lot of apron, which is dangerous with this setup, but
wow,
he
they're
managed
really
to hold on to it.
fanning out there, yep. Cody Luke weaving back and forth in the 86. Trying to get some tire temp, or we've heard the drivers in the drivers meeting talking about car is loose, especially early.
Yeah, this is Talladega BR. It's got a ton of grip middle up, and this set can get a little loose down the bottom, especially if you nip that apron. I was running the chicken run on Tuesday, and I was fine all night, and then I just nibbled the apron in middle of 1-2, as you see the Dairy Queen Firebird of Francis Dittman catch a large piece of wall there. But I just nibbled the apron, and it was like I hit grease. It just right around instantly.
Let's go a little in-car here and see what it's like following these guys.
Let's see, who do we want to go with?
Driving.
Looks like Ken Hansen's trying to make some moves here. Let's go with Ken here.
On the outside, you got cars on your inside, spotter constantly talking, and a huge run coming up. You got to lift can't really ride the brake. It just mushes you down, so you have to lift with the gas, otherwise you lose too much momentum. You see a couple car leaks and then that huge run. You don't worry too much about losing a little. What you want to do is keep clean spacing and keep your car clean. Get to that first pit stop. Teams that have been really successful as teams work together and try to pit at the same time, or maybe undercut the first stop and hope there's not a yellow. Or do you try to stay out as long as you can and hope there is a yellow and get track position?
Early in the race, I don't like being the first group in. I like, if I can at all help it, to avoid the big group pitting. Because, the likelihood of getting caught up in somebody else's mess. Late in the race, you want to be the first one to pit within the window if you're going to pull that strategy. So you take just a little bit less fuel and get out just a little bit ahead. But you got to have a group to do that still. You got to have at least 3 or 4 cars come with you. As we've been riding with Ken Hansen here back in the pack, you saw it from his view and from the inset here. The 05, Ed Fowler, just charged up the middle and took the lead. Ryan Johnson's fighting back on the bottom with his returning teammate there, the Creed Mark DeSenza. Oh, Ryan is in a bad spot. Looks like... we got a car on. Oh, it's the big one.
Cars flipping and rolling, and that's just what Bear was hoping it wouldn't happen, but we got the big one right away. That was your in-car view from Ken Hansen. It wasn't good. He got pinched in the wall and then hit from behind. And you can see in this mirror as they start spinning around and then flipping. There is a whole bunch of views there.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. I just reinstated the broadcaster jinx. Dan Jones joining us in the booth. Fresh out of the very quick trip to the infield care center. Dan, I'm sorry I picked you.
That's too bad. That was a good roll, man. I've never had one like that here ever.
That was a...
Yeah, we're going to get the camera centered on the 007 car here.
Where's
just
my
for that.
bucket moment? Mr. Creosote moment there.
Barrel rolling. I don't know how many times I went.
A lot of damaged cars and small damaged cars. We're going to have to see how this plays out as far as they'll know right away if what they got.
Yeah, first thing I saw was the 109 getting turned sideways right in front of the field, and then it was just on from there. Looks like, yeah, I mean, just nobody had anywhere to go after that point, and you got a little help from behind, and wow, you and the 109 both just tumbling through the grass.
I counted 12, maybe more times. Violent rollover.
Oh, Biscotter almost went over, and then Dan Jones. And then Biscotter flipping too. That was the Nadia Comaneci, and they were both, they did the hand slap right there. You guys could have reached out and gave yourselves a hand slap as you were flipping.
You see from on board Will Farmer. Will was almost through it. He got hit in the door. And that sent him down into Dan.
007. You're gonna blow chunks.
Yeah, that's a vomit warning right there.
I shouldn't have drank that Jägermeister. Wait, I didn't. I just flipped 100 times.
Wieners and beans for dinner tonight.
Yeah, buddy. Well, they're on the track there.
We're going to take one more look at this massive pile up here. Follow the 109 who was right at the start of it. Looks okay. I think I see what happened. Looks like the 31 got knocked out of line, maybe. Oh, this is the lap prior. My bad.
Looks like Dixon around the 43 it happened.
All right, yeah, I
Well, we
got
talked
advanced
about
here.
how close these guys are, and
Gave Biscuit a bad bounce. It looked like it was a nice bounce, but
It looked like the 31 came down a little bit. Yeah, see that? Okay, you get wiggled, and that just caused probably a little checkup on the 109's part. And that's why 43 got him. Oh man, that is a hard lick.
well, there's a meltism there, but I think I'll refrain from that. Whoa!
as I told
A
Isaac,
lot of good cars. Your top guys there, Dixon and Viscon are just, man, good thing it's not real because they'd be dead.
Yeah, I've got it paused on my second computer here, just trying to get a count of how many cars I think were involved.
They call him Flipper, faster than lightning.
So it looks like the O2 of Dave Simons,
Well, it's time
007
for
of Dan
beer for them.
Jones, 55 of Evan Castle. It looks like 98 of Sam Young stopped and drove through it. You got the 108 of Dog Palmer, 109 of Rick Bisconer, of course, 83 of Steve Weber. The 06 of Bill Farmer had some serious engine damage after that. I think 53 of TG Reese might have caught a small piece of it, but drove away. Pops Margison, 43 of Bob Dixon, 72 of Isaac Johnson, the 9 of Ken Hansen, who we rode on board with live. I don't know if Ed Finley got into it or if he managed to stop. 96 of Ken Hill was definitely heavily involved, as well as the 95 of Will Farmer, and of course our friend here, Dan Jones, caught up as well.
We have nowhere to go, and one split second to make a little twitch, maybe, or stab on the brake at 190 miles an hour. And
Okay, yeah, the 80 of Ed Finley was definitely involved, as was the 00 of Francis Dittman.
that puts it about 17 cars.
wow,
Yeah,
that
it's-
is definitely the big one right there. You're going to
17.
see people trying to get points here.
We got one more view I have to show you. Oh my goodness. Hold on a sec, folks. Let me get... Alright, tonight's Golden Horseshoe Award goes to the 86 car of Cody Luke. Watch this, folks.
This is Talladega. You need some luck.
Threading the needle. He just burped the throttle, he pointed it right at Rick Bisconer as he went airborne and just slipped right through.
Yeah,
That's
about
the right
5,
place.
6 seconds behind.
The
oh
right
my
time.
gosh. The Red Sea parted right there. He did get out of it, though. I mean, that's what you do. He hit the brakes and slowed it down, but wow, that's about, you got one reaction. That's it at those speeds.
Looks like a 4-car race.
Well, we're so involved with that, we don't know what the leaders did, but they
So right now,
definitely
Ryan
did.
Johnson's topping off again. So he's working that fuel mileage race already.
And he does that well. I remember him beating us out at Bristol.
Bristol. No, you're thinking Nashville.
No, he did it to us at Bristol, too.
Really, on fuel?
Yes.
Because the way we're set up for one stop regardless on those Bristol races if it goes green all the way. I remember on a Friday night broadcast last year, he snookered the field at Nashville. The not the speedway one that we run now, but the short track-esque one, and we were all like, okay, everybody's pitted. 59 still isn't pitted. He's gonna pit, right? Right? Nope.
Well, and you're in a window at, 56 coming up? Are they going to go green as the lights out?
I think they are this time.
That
Yes,
gives
track
you
lights are out.
kinds of options as to what you can short pit. Oh, and somebody blew up, and that was the 72 of Isaac Johnson. Blew up under caution.
Oh no!
I see that. He's down in the grass.
Up. Kablam! You gotta be kidding me.
That's what happens when you're limping a dead car around sometimes, or one that's been hit hard. You see lights have gone back on the FSB pace car.
Yeah, there's.
We're gonna get one more lap of caution because of that.
Trail there for sure. That thing had to leave some oil. Oh, that thing just blew up. Well, you got snails where you live, don't you?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Snails, man. You know?
Yeah, garden snails. Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know what did you think I was thinking, Milty?
That's a meltism because
oh, you got rung up already, bud.
We do have adults here, so go many ways with many things that the monster says, But we definitely want to keep it PG and funny and interesting.
Well, now the question becomes, who isn't damaged out there?
So I think Sam made it through and then starts at the 95, Will Farmer.
Will Farmer was definitely in it. He got his spoiler bent up. Yeah, I think minus Fowler and Ryan Johnson, who topped off, I think everyone back of the 98 car was involved in some capacity.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, you're going to see right away who has the damage and who doesn't because they're going to fall off. And a little bit damaged might still be able to catch it.
Yeah, well, with these truck physics and the big draft hole they punch, usually if you've had incidental contact in a wreck like this, like maybe something like Francis had where he just smacked the right side, you're usually good as long as you can keep a car in front of and a car behind you. If you're trying to hang on to the tail of a draft, you're probably going to lose it, especially on a restart.
Tendencies would say that if you still have a lot of damaged cars, which we do, you're going to start to see caution after caution because those things are going to be more of a handful than they already were.
I couldn't believe how much these cars are bouncing around out there.
Yeah, I think that's just what caused it. Is
we saw
one car got knocked out of line, but he was hanging on to it, and then someone else responded, and they lifted off, and they got hit from behind, and Katie barred the door from there. Alright, the 3-car Mark DeSenza is going to lead him back to green here on lap 10. Now we're back to racing. Finally swept up all the parts off the track. I'd say not an insignificant amount of that cleanup was getting the vomit from the 109 and 007 cars out of the infield.
Where's my pocket? I gotta throw up. Once again, they're not laying about here, and on the inside, big time was Ken Hill. The answer to his question, getting into that wreck, was his car's still good.
Yeah, I didn't see how hard he hit, but I know he was kind of in the middle of a group that was spinning together.
Chet Barkin. Wow,
it looks like
this is great for Chet right here. He's
looks like Brad Otto's going to lead that lap.
P7.
Looks like we got some cars still left in it, so this is good.
Yeah, decent pack, stayed together. In fact, nobody seems to have fallen off just yet. Ooh, Ryan Johnson may have caught a piece of wall there.
Others, bad luck brings opportunity for others. Rick Castle taking all over the back of the 3 of Mark DeSenza. Mama, there goes that man in the 3.
Cody Luke looking to take the lead in that 86 car. Hoping to get a good push from the 3, but Sam Young, he loves that high line, and he's pushing Brad Otto right back around.
There are 2 schools of thought. stay in the back and miss the big one or get in the front. And Mark DeSouza's definitely showed us what his decision is.
You're right. Ryan did catch a piece of that concrete.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's not going to do him any favors if it caused any damage.
Maybe it'll even it out. He didn't have any.
Yeah, Ed Fowler doesn't have any either. He also came in to top off.
Well, guys that are usually on the edge with their steering settings, there are adjustments, even though this is a fixed setup. Probably going to be a little looser unless they compensated. Some of the guys that are normally tight, it might all of a sudden feel really good to them.
Ed Finley's car
The
looking pretty
STP
sharp there.
car's going at it.
He was right in the epicenter of that wreck. I don't know how hard he hit, but he was definitely spinning.
But we see the pack that has developed, and the rest are obviously damaged. Ken Hansen got squeezed into the wall there, but that was and hit from behind. But that beer can looks pretty good right now. Looking at lap 26 to 30 for your stop. It's all about hoping you get green flag racing and then being able to.
We got one blown up. 43 Bob Dixon blown up on the bottom.
Bob Dixon is on fire there. Come on, son. Get out of that thing. Confident, joking.
And we do have caution on the track.
There's parts and oil and everything. And SDP all over that oil treatment couldn't help.
No, sir. He needs oil pan treatment there. Oil pan failure. Wasn't strong enough to hold the parts in.
He can't even get it back to the pits. He can't. I got to get out of this thing.
That is terminal. Man, they were racing hard back to the caution flag. Looks like Brad Otto maintained the lead.
1, 2, 3, 4, United States Marine Corps.
Well, one thing I did not do was get myself set up with a drink. So I'm going to pass it over to Dan and Milt during this caution, and I'll be right back.
Bob Dixon, he done blowed up.
Those Roush motors aren't hanging in there tonight. Or was that a DEI motor?
They're very secretive about that, A lot of pretend money involved there as Johnny Rutherford in the pace car finally gets caught up there. He was in the...
Oh, look at Will. He just spun out in the top corner here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everybody stayed off him. Good thing.
Very easy once you... my dad wrecked here. He wrecked at Daytona and then tried to get out of the car and rolled down the banking. So, Brad Otto, do you feel dizzy? Do you feel faint? U.S. Marines down pit road here. Sam Young all over the back of him and pulling to the side. The multiple champion there, Mark DeSouza, all over him. Everybody looks like everybody else stayed out. Well, not everybody, but you got Ed Finley. Many cars did stay out. Cody on pit road. What are these guys going to do? Four tires for the 3, 2 tires for other cars.
Ken Hansen.
4 tires for the 3, loses a ton of track position. Well, he's going to try something later here, I think.
Hansen, Doucette, and Reese all stayed out.
Okay, so there was a big gap between like those top 4 and then the next group of cars. So that makes perfect sense. You gotta roll the dice, man. I mean, I've never won a Friday race. Won a lot of races in this league, but Fridays are special.
Yes, they are.
And Super Speedway brings chances for guys and strategy calls and execution. If to put it, can't make one mistake and win this race here at FSB.
And I'm back, and attrition already playing quite a role in this race, as we have 26 cars will be credited with a finish tonight, with John the Dog Palmer credited in 26th, listed as out via accident, the 06 of Bill Farmer, 007 of Dan Jones, the 109 of Rick Bisconner, all officially listed as accident, although the 02 of Dave Simons says ignition. He was part of that accident as well. Wheel for Big Cactus there, Steve Weber. But again, the 83 car was in the accident. The gearbox for Jeff Habbock in the 101. Header for Isaac Johnson. We know that was a result of the accident. And I'd have to say that 18th place there, that camshaft failing for the 43, that's also due to the accident. So
9 cars out.
9 cars out as a direct or indirect result of that accident. That was definitely the big one.
I don't think I've seen one that big ever here.
Man, you might have just missed the one where... Remember our old teammate Chad Stallman?
Yep.
Yeah, he got knocked into the infield grass right after the tri-oval. He was going for the lead when it happened, too. He got knocked in there, and he came in upside down and in the air into turn 1 back into the field. And it was massive.
Wow. Stallman Farms, I remember him.
Stallman's at Bear Creek, yep.
Stallman, yep.
In fact, he sponsored this series at that time. And I have my my Rookie of the Year for the Winston Cup Series award up there somewhere on my shelf. That's from when Chad was sponsoring the series. Did Milty? Okay, he is
So
back.
many windows here. Tendencies are, like we said, the injured cars, blow up, crash, or whatever. We still have some more. Tendencies would say, as Larry Mack would say, probably going to get a couple more cautions if it goes per plan, and then you're going to get that long run. But you still have to plan for the long run.
Yeah, we got cars topping off as
And
part of
that's
that
what
plan.
they're doing, yep. Especially if you're already in the back a little bit, then why not?
I see the 86 of Cody Luke. I saw the 6 of John Doucette. 53 of T.G. Reese. I thought I saw the 3 car. Yep, there's a 3 car of Mark DeSenza coming down to top off.
So they went in, the people that stayed out planned on that, and then sitting in a pretty good spot now.
Yep, I'd say that was their plan all along. You see those 4 cars coming off pit road now. Looks like Cody Luke may have forgotten. Oh, no, there he is. Thought maybe he forgot to turn tires off. Not that it matters, because he was going to be shotgun on the field anyway.
Brad Otto in a frankly unfamiliar position, and also the boss there, Sammy. But not that they haven't been in this position before, but not for a while on Friday night. But they know exactly what they want to do, and that is keep that drag position and put the pressure on these other cars to make mistakes and get that timely caution where everybody has to pit, including them, and they keep their track position. Then you get into that latter second half of the race with that, and then tendencies say you get green flag, and
Now, Brad Otto, he may not be a regular up front on the Friday night races at the other tracks, but he knows his way around Talladega, around super speedway racing in general. So he should be quite comfortable up there. Yeah, he's got Sammy pushing him. I'd say look for those guys to hold that middle high line.
And look at Pops.
Yeah, Pops hanging in there. He was in the wreck, but I don't think he made solid contact.
A little Scotch blue tape, and they're ready to go.
Absolutely. That stuff can do anything.
Milt, who was your pick tonight?
You took Ryan Johnson.
My pick was Ryan Johnson.
Alright, we'll go on board on the right side here with Mark DeCenzo on this restart. Green flag back in the air. Brad Otto leads him back to green.
Where Ryan Johnson is very comfortable, and he has that extra fuel. He is definitely head tires. He is ready for this green flag run. Or if it resets, he'll be ready for that too.
Well, Ryan's teammate Mark DeCenzo topped off. Ryan didn't take advantage on that one.
Well, I think he's still ahead of some of the other cars that stayed out twice.
Possibly.
And if it goes long, they will definitely be the first ones to pit. You got like 3 different scenarios of pit situations.
Ken Hill all by himself on the bottom of that 96 car. That's just not going to hold for long. Oh, I don't know why the 3 cars almost lost the draft here. Alright, he's coming back. He must have just had to check up a little bit there.
Rick Castle in the 124 has been in the top 10, just outside of that now, and there's a big old gaggle right there. That Barkett still been fighting in the top 10 all night. This is really exciting for him and his team. It would be so awesome to see him get on the podium. Long way to go. Ken Hill fearing out there.
See that?
Aggressively.
And he keeps seeing who'll bite on the bottom.
That's car speak. As drivers, we know that. I'm showing you that I want to do something here. And here comes Ryan Johnson down low.
They want to do something too. Here we go.
But he wants to do something with the 3. That's a good guy to follow to the front. 3 wide down the back.
Yeah, into the short chute
Still
there.
3 wide. Front straight, excuse me. Still 3 wide. Bonner's going 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. Clear.
Hold your line. Hold your line.
My guy says, "Are you nuts?
Yeah.
Are you nuts?"
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Wait for the ambulance.
And they're checking up really tight.
Yeah, Keith Cordier checking in from Dallas, I guess, out on I don't know if that's on business or pleasure, but checking in with us.
What's up, Keith? Yeah, that's so cool, man. I've done that too. We've been working out of town in the Momo, you know, and or the Ho-Ho, as we call the motel and the hotel, and flipping on my phone or getting the Wi-Fi or whatever. And I know there's an FSB race, you know. A couple years ago there when I was in Bakersfield, in the summer when it was 100 and kill me, and I'm in the room with the air conditioner and the Momo, and get on there and interacting with y'all. Hey, we got 3 wide again there. Chet Barkin, he's been inside, he's been outside. The 68 really looks hooked up tonight.
Well, he's moving backwards. It's the 3 car getting under him for position there. Mark DeSenza's just making moves.
A little bit of contact maybe for Rick Castle. Draped a little Crown Royal and purple on the side of the wall. No, I don't know if it was just a love tap. You're lucky enough to drink a little bit of Crown Royal, and you might get a love tap. Yeah,
Bill Farmer checking in says his crew chief told him to stop
Mr.
wrecking his car.
Bojangles going at it there. The Chinza there. Whoa, Chet Barkin sideways there. Had to pull in, but then goes up and down. Ed Fowler in the Mr. Bojangles car gets the spot. That outside line is way bigger than the inside. They keep going inside out. They don't know what to do. With this looser setup, it seems like the outside guys are preferring the outside apex. But the cars look really stable now. A lot of times a loose setup will it's a handful at the beginning, but then you get in that rhythm, and right now you're seeing real stability really with this group. Now they're going single file. You're starting to think about pit stop. Still a ways away, but
it doesn't appear that anybody has been completely left behind by this draft.
It's like a 4th of July, a little snake there sizzling. It's kind of snaking back and forth, and not sure how this is like an amoeba.
It's like an amoeba? It's like a single-celled organism?
Yeah, absolutely, where it kind of blends to its environment and changes its shape.
I think you mean chameleon.
Well, the amoeba was the great Jerry Tarkanian from Fresno, where I'm from. That was his patented defense when he was the coach at Las Vegas, the Running Rebels. It was one of his zone defenses, the amoeba. You're gonna have to Google that, folks,
Well, we've settled into a single groove here, more or less. I think everybody's thinking about pit stops.
Absolutely. And those guys that pitted later, they're still in this group, are thinking, let them pit. Let's see if they wreck, or give us a chance here to get track position. You also got team dynamics, which you'll have to fill the fans in on that.
Well, you got Ed Finley and Ed Fowler there hooked up. The 80 and the 05, those are teammates with the Outsiders.
I'm Mr. Ed.
What are you doing with that carrot, Wilbur? The 3 and the 59 of Mark DeSenza and Ryan Johnson, those are teammates.
This is the best situation for 31. This is his best forte, and he is showing confidence and dominance under pressure like a Marine dude. He's also from Fresno, California, where I reside, and we run into each other from time to time, or we find each other. It's been a while,
Nice.
but remember him coming on the job site, all of a sudden, big Marine guy walking up. Remember me, you know? Of course, we did our go-kart thing and hanging out with T-Roy back in the day. The California guys all got together and we had a go-kart championship for the FSB guys there. I won, but not that I'm bragging, but
Of course not.
But then I got really drunk, and Brad had to drive me and Jim Rennie back to the ho-ho, and of course we knew we were in great hands. He was sober and took care of us, and we got our way back from T. Roy's house to the ho-ho, and
Barrett McKay in the chat there asking, what is BR? Well, that's the variant of track.
that's Brian.
Brian Ring. Brian Ring was the guy who was modifying tracks back in the early days of track modding for NASCAR 2003. And you'll notice how the visual groove of the dark, where the rubber's laid down, the darker groove is kind of middle out instead of down along the bottom here at this track. This is one of the first tracks that had the multiple grooves put into it to try and encourage side-by-side racing.
As the game came from the factory, the preferred line was the bottom, and the outside line needed huge
help. Yeah, it had to be like 2-to-1 ratio to pass anybody on the outside. Ooh, cars bouncing off each other down the backstretch there. Looks like everybody gathers it up. Oh no! Francis is blown up. 00's blown up. That's what that scuffle was about there.
We're seeing a lot of motors going down. These guys are really pushing the issue.
Well, every one of the motors that's blown was involved in the wreck in some capacity.
That's true. That also, okay, definitely. And it stays green.
Yeah, he manages to keep it green this time. But to get more back to the point, when the way the game shipped, not only were tracks single groove, but they were... There's two layers to what makes the track surface. There's what you see, which is just a skin like what you put on the cars. It's just a texture. It's just a graphical image. So that's asphalt. You just slap that down. What's underneath, or you can define that as asphalt, concrete, apron, and paint are the main
and they have
paved surfaces.
Levels.
Yeah, and you can individually adjust those grip levels within the track configuration file, and that's how they create these different grooves. So down here, the bottom's probably asphalt, the middle's probably concrete, and the top's probably paint, for example.
That gives a coefficient of grip level that's a mathematical equation.
Exactly. I think there's a fourth surface type that I'm just not thinking of right now.
As you're driving, you don't realize that, but then you realize how smart the people were that made these games and these simulations. And as we're just seeing awesome action back and forth, cars ducking and diving, changing positions. This is so hard. It looks like it's a Sunday drive. It's a Sunday drive at 190, buffeting. Oh boy! Oh,
wow, they're getting crazy into turn one here.
Kid Hill backed out of that. Very good.
That's very wise.
He's a veteran, years of experience, and a great super speedway driver.
We got cars working their way to the bottom. Do we have pit stops coming up here?
We do, and we have the scanner is out. And we got
the 98, the 96, 31, 55, 59, and 6 all thrown up pit entry signs. And they're in. Pops Markison inherits the lead with those cars pitting.
Well, we talked about the disparity of which we couldn't keep up with all these different cars, but they definitely have. And now Pops is showing and hasn't signaled, so he's defending low. He's.
Don't forget these cars that stayed out can probably get at least another 2 laps on these guys.
Under green here now with the fuel level.
Oh, there comes Fowler.
You want to get 2 tires here.
You always want to take 2 tires on a super speedway stop. If you
Left
can
or
help
right, whichever ones you haven't taken the last time. Fowler down pit road. The other 2 cars, Finley, and that's professional. Look, that ain't easy, folks. Down from 190 down to 55 miles an hour. And you got to find your pit stall. We watched real NASCAR racing last week and seeing a dude get hammered, you know.
I missed that, but yeah.
Oh, you know,
I heard
actually,
about
it was, I'm sorry, it was IndyCar. Where just took out
Oh, yeah.
pit guy, luckily. I mean, wow, you know.
Here we go. Pops and Descenza hitting pit road now.
The sense of speed is so difficult to adjust to. This isn't, you know, like a game where they pit for you and make it easy. You just drive around. You got to execute all things. Let's see how they line up. And Brad Otto lost some spots there. The 31's back to 4th in that group.
Well, let's see how this all cycles out, because position...
The 05 letting everybody by, and there's contact with Cody Luke and the 59 Ryan Johnson, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
3 wide. 3 wide with Ed Finley. Come on, Bandit, run.
Was not yet up.
We're going to get some Coors here.
And here we go. And the Rockets out there all by.
Oh, there knows the tail. Ed Fowler. They put it on the show. Oh, and then Ryan Johnson.
Oh!
And there's the big red.
So, yeah, there we go. 86 and 99
and
going around in the backstretch.
And the guys that stayed out, this is why you try to stay out as long as you can. And now, got to be a caution here.
Yeah.
Oh, and Finley into the wall, coming back to caution. That's a, uh-oh, for him. Just a
Brad
little
Otto
scrape, though.
reasserts
Wow,
himself
Brad
to the lead.
Otto muscles his way. You've got 10 seconds to get off this obstacle. No private will leave this race until they get across this obstacle in 10 seconds. U.S. Marines. He's already pitted. You got 36 laps. You can split this in half. What do? Stay out as the leader?
I want the pit. I want the fuel. I want to take any tires if there's enough space to do it. And like you said, I want to split it. Alright, I got it queued up here as to exactly what happened here.
Now, or do you? It's only been a couple laps, so...
Alright, here's the source of our caution here. The 86 car, Cody Luke, as he catches the 99 of Pops Markison. You'll see just the closing rate, I think, contributed to this.
What a great sequence of green flag racing and battling, and just don't know how hard that is, folks. Ryan Johnson in P5, followed by Ed Fowler, Mr. Bojangles. This is a big stop here. The other cars stayed out.
Ooh, we got teammates, the 95 and the 80, getting together and coming on pit road.
The leaders, Mark DeSouza, stayed out. I think DeSouza has more fuel than them.
Yeah, he had literally just come on back onto the track when they caught him.
Well, just love great airtime for Brad Otto in the lead with the boss Sam Young dogging him. They're probably talking on the radio back and forth, giving each other some guff here.
Yeah, I can see my TeamSpeak window in the left monitor there. They are in the same channel right now.
Sam I know Sammy, and he's seeing what could happen here. I've been in this position as the car in front and the car behind. When you see yourself at this stage of the race, past the halfway point, and you realize we got a chance to win this thing, you want to be there at the end. 2 laps to go, then okay. But right now, we're going to work together, and I'm sure that Sammy has conveyed that to Brad. I'm not going to dog you. We're going to save fuel. You see him go down low, and they were clutching. They're working to a number here, and let's see, what is that number? If they can go 15 from here, that'll be 56, and get them to 20. They might be able to do 20. So
the lights are still on the pace car, and we are currently on lap 42.
Right, with a few laps to go.
I think everybody that has stayed out so far, they're going to come in this next time by. That's what I would do if I was them.
They're going to lose track position here, but let's see what they do. That will tell us that they don't think they can make it on one more stop.
Well, then they definitely can make it on one more stop if they do that.
Exactly, but with a few laps under their belt, I think they could make it clutching here from here.
I think it's just a little too close.
A little too close. Because we're looking at the 15 and the 20 number.
Yeah, they're going to take this restart at lap 44.
Laps they ran before from their last stop. So
well, they're gonna take this restart at lap 44, which is 32 the finish. It's plus a few laps that they already ran. It's tight. I'd want the insurance to be extra fuel.
The longest line for 53.
Let's see, get Brad Otto 98. They're both ducking down to the apron already.
What's the 3 gonna do? He's got a few laps on him. Are they playing a little cat and mouse here?
Looks like it. None of them came in?
None of them came in. That's what I thought.
Well, now if you're in the back, you'd definitely come in. And I see quite a few takers back there.
Well, yeah, I need to get a beer
Looks like, the 96, the 9, the 86, and the 53, they're all topping off.
Whether they can make it or not, they've already, ideally, now we're looking at, the number is closed under caution here, so for one more stop for the guys that have been out a while. But we're going to take a little break here. Sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Guys, take it away.
Alrighty, well, while Milty goes to freshen up. We got 31 and the 98 back up front, just like we had before that pit cycle. Big winner on that sequence was the 3 car of Mark DeSenza, who managed to hold on to 3rd spot, and has more fuel than those guys, regardless of who thinks they can make it and who thinks they can't. Behind them, we got 55 Evan Castle, been pretty quiet tonight. I don't know if he got in that big wreck or not, but his car looks good, and you know, he's been running strong, so good things for Evan Castle and the Red Baron pizza machine. Chet Barkin in the 68, Richard Petty 200th win scheme there. Also looking pretty good. I think maybe the right side got a little bit of damage. Hard to tell from that angle. No, it looks like, yeah, he's been damaged slightly, but he looks like he's good to go. Spoilers straight, nose is straight. He's lined up 5th. And Ed Fowler lined up 6th there. Also kept that car clean all night. Got his teammate lined up behind him. Other teammate about 3 cars back there. 95 Will Farmer, so he's looking good. Lots of different strategies out there. Lots of different teammate combinations. Alliances, friends, promises for what they're worth. How's it all going to play out? We've got 32 laps to figure that out as Brad Otto leads them back to green.
Have to be able to make it to lap 56.
Absolutely.
That would be 12 laps. Or you get a caution. Mark DeSenza, I think, with a few more laps of fuel, looking really aggressive. Evan Castle, right in that mix, too. He's just another driver that would love to get his first Friday night win. These are opportunities, huge opportunities. You hate to be a broadcaster jinx, but you look at the players involved here. There's some guys that are not normally up there. These guys show up every week. Look, Chet Barkin right in the mix of this. How do they handle this? You know, I mean, you're used to, I had a good 20th finish. This is a professional sim racing league.
Ooh, I think Ed Finley caught a piece of the wall again.
And then you get a chance like this. How are you going to deal with it? Can you execute and win? That's why they show up. They show up every week. They finish 20th or whatever. They're happy. They're just glad to be a part of it. But at the same time, they've worked hard and learned. And you're not seeing some of the normal customers up there except for that 3. And they know who that guy is. And that gets in your head, too, because you see that blue and yellow. It's like, oh, my gosh.
Hey.
This guy has won so much stuff, man. Can I beat him? Can I beat him? Am I going to let him buy me? No way. I'm gonna win or crash. You know? At this point, you're thinking, heck with this, man. I'm defending. I'm going for it. This is my chance to get on the podium on Friday night.
Now you'll see, everybody's figured out that middle groove is where they want to be. You don't see a lot of people trying to make moves down the bottom right now.
Well, it's not to anybody's advantage to do anything silly right here, right now, because you got so many laps left. When you're graced to be in this position in this lead draft, you realize there's a lot of race left. I just got to be right here. I'd like to get to the front, but you just can't pull out and pass. You gotta wait until guys start to make decisions. And now, if a guy makes a mistake, then you try to capitalize. Right now, you see him single file towards the back there. Castle and Barkin. Barkin, big fella, 6'4" from Stockton, California.
Hey, how's the stream looking? I'm getting occasional yellow and red lights on my OBS. I've dropped 143 frames, which is not bad, but still a little high for what I usually see.
I'm about 5 seconds behind, but from what I see right now, it looks pretty good. On a small window. Mr. Bojangles.
I'll check the light later, see what that's about.
Somebody we haven't mentioned yet there. John Doucette in the 6th. Quietly.
Doucette was one of those cars that topped off.
He just never seemed to have gotten on camera because he's up an awful lot. And he's worked this thing well. And that guy in that 59 that knows strategy as good as anybody, right on that tail end on Rick Castle.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson's intent to just run tail end Charlie right now. He knows he's got the draft, he knows he's got the fuel.
They're not laying about though. They're putting Ed Finley down on the inside and out of the draft.
Well, Ed Finley has popped the wall a couple times tonight with the right side of that car and just not done any favors to that fire chicken.
Oh,
wow. No, I think the 124 actually got the wall there. They do finally, after all this time, have some cars that are losing touch with the lead draft. Oops, okay, I hit the spacebar instead of the control. Haha. Yeah, the 96-99 have lost the lead draft. Will Farmer is hitting pit road now. After losing the draft. I'm not sure what his issue is there. He may just be retiring it.
That would mean 2 stops for him.
Yeah, but he was pitting by himself. He's got to have a problem. And he has, in fact, retired the McQueen machine.
Bummer.
And then you got 53 and 9, T.G. Reese and Ken Hansen, in their own little tandem back here. Well, they have completely lost touch with the main group. And
You guys
to Cody Luke all by himself.
Shucking and driving are the 6 and the 05. They want to go somewhere. They just... Well, they're trying to get clean air on that motor. We're seeing blown motors, but like you said, those are all damaged cars, so...
Yeah, everyone that I saw blow motor was definitely involved in a wreck at some capacity. I'm going to step aside again for just a sec. I'm going to leave your split screen up here with Ed Fowler on the right and your leaders on the left, and be right back.
Earliest we think they can pit is 56. We're on lap 52. So I'm talking there. Cody is pitting the 86. That is not good for him. And we have the recently retired Will Farmer in the booth. What's up, Will?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Just not your night. Pretty much figured you were just going to be out there in the way, or what was your story there?
Well, it all started with that first wreck that happened up front that seemed to take out a lot of guys. And I didn't get taken out from it, but I got some rear end damage, and I went to the pits, and they said they fixed it up. But on my screen, it looked as if I still had a frowning face on the rear there. But my teammates are telling me it was fine. so I just kept it going. And then I hit the wall going on the back stretch. But my car still felt a little slowish before that. Then I hit the wall on the back stretch, and I was really doing like 190 in the draft when these guys are hitting almost 200. And I don't know, I just didn't want to be out there just getting lapped, that's no fun.
Absolutely. That's pretty much how I called it in the broadcast.
But yeah, it was an unfortunate night for sure. I was pretty happy coming off of the chicken run. But we'll get him next week.
Yeah, the chicken run is the same race, only shorter, and it definitely prepares you. But just like the old Sportsman Cup used to do for the Pro Cup back in the day. And sometimes it's apples to apples, sometimes it's apples to, gotta park it. That's the way it goes. Like, man, I was so good Tuesday, but I'm junk tonight.
Yeah, I thought I would have been good tonight for sure. I mean, I had runs in that first couple of laps there. The bottom line on this setup is really hard. This setup is interesting to say the least. I don't know. It seems like, I just barely tapped the wall. I don't even know if you guys saw the incident where I hit the wall because of how light I tapped it. And then that gave me enough damage that brought me down 6 miles per hour. And then even in that wreck, I don't believe I even got hit too hard in the rear to get that. And I think Ed Finley was saying that he got tapped, and that was enough to make him lose the draft as well. And it looks as if that's what's going on, is he's not in the main pack anymore. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens next week. And
that was the consensus in the drivers' meeting I heard tonight. So, it's a constant moving thing. So you get enough drivers talking about it, and wow, the leader, Brad Otto, running great, but he got the apron there. Also, John Doucette, computer issues, got booted. And the 6 was running great, and he's out of the picture for the win. Tough luck for John Doucette.
Yeah, he was having a good run. I believe that 6 car was clean. 31, 98, both hitting pit road.
And that, oh my gosh, Sammy blows through pit road there. Was that a Matt Watkins pit stop, or did he blow chunks? And if they're 31, that's what I would have done. He was very calm. Let everybody else make a mistake. Come on, Brad. Come on. Fresno, California. My homeboy here, Brad Otto, U.S. Marines.
I don't know if you guys can see the...
Fuel only, no tires. Come on. Sammy comes out ahead, but... Man, Sammy looked like he was way too fast down pit road.
We got 3 of the 55 and the 124 hitting pit road now.
The 68, the 05, and the 59 are still on the track that are on the lead lap. In the main pack, that is. And I'd imagine they're going next time by.
Well, they topped. At least the 05 topped off.
Brad Otto did a great job there. You're the leader. Don't throw the race away. If a guy can outbeat you and outpit you, fine, and 98 is pitting. There's a penalty for Sam Young, and when this cycles out, the 31 has executed. Come on, man.
Fowler and Ryan Johnson are going in now.
There we go. Okay, so we're going to see them there. Yeah, that's where I would want to pit right now. Oh, man, Ed Fowler got all kinds of out of shape. Almost took out the 68 coming in, but they all sorted out and get it under control.
But knowing Brad for as long as I have, I'd be remiss and lying if I wasn't totally rooting for Brad right here. But to see how it goes.
Yeah, well, he lost his draft partner to that pit penalty, so that's going to hurt him. He needed the help to be able to maintain the lead through all this.
Still just an U.S. Marine execution under fire.
Meanwhile, actually, the big loser in all this is Mark DeSenza is all by himself on the track right now. As you see, I've got him up on the left side.
DeSenza had a few laps on these guys, like I was saying. Question is, can he get in and out with the
He just came out
buddy?
too far ahead of everybody. If he can catch his teammate Ryan Johnson's draft, which looks like he has, actually, this may actually work out.
You guys should all be in the window.
In fact, he's catching Ryan with a huge head of
Go
steam.
to the finish.
Rides the brake a little and gives the 59 a tap, so they are hooked up.
I'm gonna head out of here, the booth here, guys. It was a good race for what it was, but I'll get them next week. Hope you guys have a good broadcast.
All right, thanks,
Right on.
Will.
Well,
We'll
baby.
get him next time, buddy.
Yep.
That's racing.
Yes, it is. See you guys.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, our thanks, of course, to Will Farmer for checking in after his car was no longer up to speed. That's our Tuesday night winner in this same mod, this same track.
Farmer Brothers.
That just shows you how the things go cyclical in racing sometimes. You can go from the thrill of victory to the agony of defeat, night to night, sometimes even twice in the same night, like on Tuesdays with the Super Speedway Series and the Chicken Run running together.
And your leader, ding, is the Skull Bandit, and he is now pitting.
Yeah, he's all by himself.
Yeah, and Ken Hansen behind him.
Yeah, those were two of the cars that had lost the lead draft.
But they're both damaged too, so it's going to be awful hard for them to come back out and hook up with these leaders.
Yeah, Ken Hansen, we were riding on board with him when he was heavily involved in that wreck. This front three, by the way, has
Still
just...
a great stop.
Once this all cycles out, Mark DeSenza, Ed Fowler, and Ryan Johnson are just going to be in the catbird seat.
Just a splash for the 53 and the 9. They come out right together. No tires. Ding! So great race management. Try to get a good finish here. TG Reese and the Skull Bandit team would really like this. Get a top 5 maybe here, We'll see. And that he's got his draft buddy Ken Hansen there. They're still feeling it.
Looks like this has cycled through, and
there's Cody in the chat. He's out the race here.
Yeah, his car just didn't have any speed anymore. Yeah, not surprising being involved in at least 2 wrecks.
Yeah, but I saw some really great skill.
Yeah, it's just how it goes, man. That's how it goes at Talladega.
But you always look at the positives, and you see that he was up there competing and very close to the top there. So
this is something Ed Fowler needs right here. Ed Fowler needs to pick up Sam Young. There you go. Because that's the only help Ed's going to get. It's right in front of him are the teammates of Mark DeSenza and Ryan Johnson. In fact, if I'm Ed, I'm going to drag that brake until I'm sure that Sam is latched on. It looks like that might be what he's doing, as that gap is growing to the 3 car. Oh no, Sam's let out of it.
These guys still got a pit here. They're going to be looking at Ryan Johnson, or can he make it? Like we were talking, now we got Ryan Johnson, the fuel master, and that guy in the 3, and Mr. Bojangles. That threesome right there is a powerful mark for show.
Don't look now, but Brad Otto's in a 4-car pack, about to be 4 cars as they pick up Sam Young. Back of this 3-car pack. Can they make up any ground? They need to get organized if they're going to do that, though. See, I'll put them up on the right side. Got Brad Otto, Rick Castle, Sam Young now a lap down after that penalty, and Chet Barkin all hooked up together.
They had great stops, but this group thinks they can make it all the way without a stop, I think.
I think everybody that has... it's pitted, they think they can make it from here. Oh, yeah, my mistake. Cody Luke correcting me there. Yes, Cody, we saw that you just missed that first one by inches. In fact, I went back.
That was great.
I went back like a 4th or 5th time to look at that, just to look at it from your roof cam. You get the golden horseshoe of the night, buddy. That was Cody Luke in the 86 car. Woo! That's about as close as you can get and not get in the wreck.
Ed Fowler, what you gonna do? He's right in.
Ed Fowler is he knows what situation he's in. He's a smart man, retired police officer, still training people in firearms, handling and tactics. He's got situational awareness. He knows that he's pretty much resigned to a 3rd place spot unless this second pack can catch them.
Well, what he's going to do is he's going to pick one guy to follow at the end, try to get P2, and then, unless something else happens.
Well, he's got to count on teammates selling each other out, though, for that to happen.
Yeah,
so.
Well, speaking personally, as Jim Ray's teammate back in the day, it was all good till 2 laps to go, and then
he almost might be better off.
Win a race, so
at this point, with 10 to go, he almost might be better off letting go of these front 2, picking up that pack of 4 cars, running them back down as a pack of 5, and seeing what he can do.
Would he have enough time for that? That's just not in a driver's instinct. No way. You can't see. You're seeing the promised land 2 cars ahead of you. You're already on the podium. If it finishes this way, it would be awful hard to back it off. Whoa, Ryan Johnson, a little apron. 3 all over him now. These guys are veterans. No, Ryan's not like scared, but he just made a mistake there. That will get your sticker to pecker. Then you
Meanwhile, they're catching the 59 and the 9 and the 53. That's going to help increase their gap over the second pack, but the second group has pulled to within 3 seconds.
Low.
Second pack has knocked it down about a half a second since I've been watching them.
PG Reese lets him go by, but he definitely had some TV time tonight in that Skull Bandit car, leading the race. Get a good finish here. That'll be, feather in his cap.
Well, with TG going a lap down there, that leaves just your top 10 in the lead lap right now. With Evan Castle and Pops Margison and Ed Finley all pretty close. In fact, you can see them there for a second. And our second pack is caught. Our second pack is catching up.
And the draft car, lap down car of the 53 is still a good car. So they're going to all catch that draft. Not over yet.
I told you that second pack might have something for him.
That's why we call you smart, brother.
Hey, I've got 4 Super Speedway Series trophies sitting on the shelf above me here, and there's some things I've learned about this stuff.
Well, you don't get those because they just give them away. You have to earn them. So, absolutely.
Yeah, I've won them and lost them that way. You know, there are times
Absolutely.
I've come out and like, oh no, I had a good pit stop. Yeah, why would that be bad? Well, because you're out there by yourself, and then here comes a whole field at speed, and you went from 1st to 10th after having the best pit stop in the whole bunch because you got too far ahead. And yeah, they are engaged. They are within 1.4 seconds when we get to this line, and that's the sweet spot.
Now you got to start thinking about the outside line. You got plenty of time here. Don't panic. They're not going to panic. You got numbers. Mr. Bojangles there, Fowler. He's my guy right here to pick up that group. Let these two defend low.
Brad Otto looking high. Can he get the help?
And there comes Brad
There
Otto.
goes Descenza's looking
And
with him.
Descenza's feeling it too. They know the outside line is fast, but Ryan Johnson defends well. He goes outside in, and they smoke the inside line. Great move by Ryan Johnson, the veteran. That's
Out
a
for Sam Young's.
fantastic move right there.
Yeah, and they
You
just
don't
shake and
realize
bake the
how
05
subtle,
car.
but-
Ed Fowler falls to the back of this pack.
That was great awareness. He's not asleep. He's awake. And he
Sam
saw
Young
this
is locked onto the
stuff
bumper of that
coming.
31 machine.
Now Brad Otto down low.
He
And
is
Sam
practically
Young
lifting
is
the rear wheels
on.
off the ground. And Sam Young pushing the 31.
Come on.
Get up there, Brad.
Brad fears up a little bit. Brad's going to stick with. Brad's car is really tight tonight. That thing is handling.
Brad's got to do Brad now. 98's the lap
But now
down.
he
He's
goes
done
to
his.
the-
He's done what he wanted to. Oh no! 59
There's
cuts across the
contact
front of the
with
98, and
73. Come on, Brad.
That's
Come
it.
on, Brad.
That's
Bring
it.
Back. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Take it back to the line.
did they take the caution or not? That's the question.
Come on, Brad. Caution's out. Come on, Brad. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. Yeah. Fresno, California, baby. That's my boy right there. I think he just won the stinking race.
And Pops
Are
Margerson.
you kidding me?
Pops
Yeah.
Margerson's backwards into the wall. I think Brad Otto already took that caution.
Oh my gosh.
He might be the only one who didn't take the caution, and that's why he's got to run it back.
Take it back, Brad. Take it back. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, if the lights are still blinking for him, then
Come
he is
on.
not taking it.
Come on. Brad out on P1 as he crosses the line.
Assuming
Caution
that
is
he
out.
has, assuming that he still had to take the caution, then
He's
and he
still
didn't just get a
P1.
flag. If he didn't just get flagged there because of confusion, then he is your race winner with Mark Descends a second and Rick Castle. Where did he come from? We didn't talk about him all night long. Puts the Crown Royal Machine P3.
Why's Brad slowing down here?
Well, he's
still
got to
needs
let
to
that
keep
pace car
going.
catch up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got 2 to go here. Actually, Barrett. Remember, you gotta count the last lap too as a whole lap unto itself. So there's 2 to go here as we've taken the caution.
Pop's getting the wave around. Come on, Brad. I think this is it. In all my years of sim racing, I've raced with and against some of the greatest sim racers in the world, and I still do that. But one of the great people in the world that I've ever met and in sim racing is Brad Otto. Good times, bad times.
You know, I've had my share.
Throughout the years, this guy's always had a positive attitude. You look on
Well, okay.
You look on the forums. You talk about a good day, bad day. He's always a positive, most positive guy I've ever met. You know, I mean,
Okay, well, here's the replay of what happened. And it looks
but it's
like
not official here.
it looks like the 59 tried to drop down under the 31, but didn't count on the 98 being there and just came across his nose. And so broadcaster Jinx does strike again. Ryan Johnson spinning himself across the nose of a lap. But you see, at the time of caution,
Gotta have enough fuel to make it. We see
I'm sure
cars
everybody's
blow
got it.
up under caution. It's not over until you cross that line. Oh,
But you see, also at the time of caution, Brad Otto did, the caution was out before Brad Otto hit that line, so I'm hoping he didn't just get dinged for passing the pace car. Because that could really screw up this race. So we're going to see. He's got the white flag now.
I'm speechless right now. I'm telling you, I'm like emotional here. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna cry. I promise. But I'm telling you, yeah, I've known this guy for a long time. We've run Le Mans races together. He's done. He's just a quality class act guy, and I know him, personally. I've met him, and we've hung out, we partied, and he drove me home, from T-Roy's house, and life, you get busy, so much work, stuff, life. Basically only show up at FSB once a week, but I see Brad Otto is still here after all these years, competing and always being a sportsman and a class act. Do not, downplay what it would be if he could take this checker flag. For a guy like him, to know him personally, like we all do.
Well, assuming that there's no penalties pending here, Brad Otto, Mark DeSenza, Rick Castle, your top three. Chet Barkin, Ed Fowler rounding out your top five. Ken Hill perseveres through all the trouble he had tonight for a sixth spot. Ed Finley in the 80 brings it home seventh. Pops Markson in the 99, despite having been spun there at the end, finishes eighth. Evan Castle in ninth, and then Sam Young a lap down rounds out your top 10. The 11th spot going to T.G. Reese. Ken Hansen, your last car running, in 12th place, also a lap down. Ryan Johnson actually retired after spinning across the nose there. He could have had himself a top 10, but decides to retire with 13th.
And he gets the bump from the man, Mark DeSouza, and your winner is Brad Otto from Fresno, California.
There it is. The standings are official. Brad Otto in the 31 car with an average speed credited at 142.262 miles per hour.
This guy, I'm telling you, and he gets to do his first Friday night burnout.
His longtime friend and former teammate Ed Finley dogging him now. He wants to get a piece of that 31 car.
It just, part of sim racing is it's the competition, it's the intensity, but it's all the best thing about it is the friendship and fellowship. That's why this league has been around for 16 years and continues to go, and the same characters show up. They're all pro drivers, but you got the great ones that generally win, and then you get to see this tonight on a Friday night. Let's see what he does here. He's just rolling it along, and I think he's soaking it in right now. Well, he's leaving him alone. Let's see what he does here.
That's
For his
definitely one of the most
victory.
well-earned burnouts
We see
in
burnouts.
FSB history.
Let's see if he's going to smoke him off right here. And he is.
Get some, Brad. You burn those things till they pop.
Wow.
Well, folks, there you have it. One of the most surprising and popular wins you're going to find in FSB on a Friday night. Brad Otto, a 31 Marine machine, putting on the smoke show. And he did it all tonight. I think he led the most laps. He nailed his pit stops. The only reason he was in that second pack and not maintaining the lead after his pit stop was that his drafting partner got a penalty. But it worked out for him. It put him in the bigger pack. They got through the traffic faster. They caught up, and he was in the right place at the right time all night long. Just kept that car clean, kept it in the right place. And he went out there and earned that one, guys. That was there's a bit of luck involved, but he did all the right things with that 31 car. Well, Milty, want to go gather up our podium finishers for us?
Wow, I'm texting people and typing at the same time. That's pretty bitchy, man. Yep, I'll roll on down there.
Oh, darn it. I lost the music there. I was going to let it play for him. Alright, well, Milty's heading off to go get our podium finishers for the night. I think, oh my goodness, did Ryan already update the points for us? That might be record time right there. Alright, let's see what we got here. I think those points might be up to date, folks. They are. Wow, Ryan Johnson on the spot tonight. So our points are up to date. And by the way, Brad Otto did lead the most laps tonight with 44 laps led. So Isaac Johnson maintains his point lead despite the early exit tonight. Ken Hansen perseveres, stays 27 points back, just takes a little notch out of those points. So he's it's not impossible to overcome this, but he's got an uphill battle for the rest of the season. Rick Castle picking up 2 spots with that excellent podium run tonight, the 124 Crown Royal machine. Rick Bisconder, again, an early victim, falls back a spot. And Ryan Johnson, despite retiring after the last caution, picks up 1 position to move to 5th spot. The series sponsor, Bill Yarborough, drops 2 to 6th spot, and then we got a tie for 7th with Pops Markson and John the Dog Palmer. I'm sorry, Bill Farmer is one who fell out earlier. Now, Bill Yarborough, I guess, didn't show up tonight. Falls 2 spots. John Doucette maintains 10th with a tie with Will Farmer. All right, we got our podium finishers up here, and Brad, you're just gonna have to wait because we're gonna go from the bottom up here with Rick Castle. First of all, where did you come from? We didn't notice you all night out there, despite the only purple car on the track. At the last second, we're calling your name for the podium there. Tell us about your run, buddy.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to maintain and take care of the car. I was clean all night. Maybe just tapped the wall once the whole race, and kept the car clean and tried to stay out of trouble until it was time to go. And I saw the opportunity to push Brad up there and catch that first group.
Well, nice, well played there. You did everything you needed to do. You kept the car clean.
You missed Carnage. And
yeah, I did a couple times.
You had great strategy and great perseverance, and then like I was talking to the broadcast, I mean, and then you guys executed. Frank, I mean, that was a position, that could really make your sticker pecker there, and you guys,
Yeah, burn up near the wall there. Yep.
You guys executed. You did scrape the wall there towards
Yeah.
the end there, and I was like, oh man, but you guys executed under pressure against the best in NASCAR 2003, and you're on the podium. That's
yep. Thank you very much.
That's
glad
awesome.
to be up here.
Great run, man. And then making the comeback after a hiatus here, we got the 3-car, Mark DeSenza. The Rocket was on a mission. Looks like you came out after that last pit stop all by yourself, but you were still in the catbird seat at the end there. Man, what more could you have done to get around this group?
First of all, I want to say congratulations to Brad. He earned that. Plus, he ran up front all night, so hell of a job, Brad. Good finish for Rick as well.
Thank you.
They had a couple lap cars, maybe help them catch up, back up. That's the name of the game. It's all good. And just Highline, when I was following him and Sam there for a while on the Highline, that definitely is the way to go.
Yeah, that's the fast part.
And but yeah, consider.
But did you have a plan to stick with Ryan there at the end, or were you looking to hang him out?
No, if we were by ourselves, I was going to try to pass him, but if not, I probably would have stayed with him. But then at that point, I told him to do what you got to do. I wanted to stay up there. I told him, do what you got to do to either win or do what you got to do. And I don't really know what happened. He got together with somebody.
Yeah, it looked like he just came down a little too soon in front of the 98 there. That brought out that final caution, which clinched the deal for Brad Otto. Oh boy, it's a shame he couldn't join us. Good night, folks. Just kidding. Brad Otto. Man, this guy go down as one of the most popular wins in Friday night FSB history. Hell of a job, buddy. I'm pretty sure that's your first Friday night win, so I'm just going to pass it over to you. Tell us about your night, man.
Amazing. First off, thanks for all the congrats. It was amazing. I wasn't sure what was going to happen tonight, starting in 9th place. You're kind of in the danger zone.
Kill zone's what I call that spot.
Exactly. So I have to say thank you to all the guys who helped me work around the track. And Sam, I couldn't have done it without him. He was my wingman for the night.
He was locked onto your bumper several times, even when he was a lap down there. In fact, when you made that pass for lead, I was like, it looked like you were the old tandem style there. He was welded to your bumper. A heck of a push from the 98.
There were a couple of sketchy moments early on in the race, and I had to make moves around a couple cars, and I just had to roll the dice and get myself up there.
Now, did you have to work your way through that initial wreck? I lost track of, because just about everybody was in that thing, so I lost track of who was and who wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of worked around it. I went to the high side and then did a quick dive down to the left and then came out unscathed.
When you lost your drafting partner and Sam after that pit stop, did you think that was it, that your night was over?
I felt bad because we were going to go around one more time, but my fuel pressure started dropping and I called an audible, said pit, let's go, and he was too hot. So he got a BF on that, and I feel bad about that. But he pulled back around and still was able to help me.
Yeah, that was definitely good timing there that you were able to catch back up with him. You are also credited. You led 44 laps. That is by far the most. That's more than half the race tonight. So you didn't just back into this one, man. You were dominant all night long.
The car was dialed in tonight. I don't know what it was. The guys in the shop did a great job and gave me something I could just, make magic with. And I'm so happy. I want to park it in the garage and take it apart again.
Yeah,
absolutely. Put that one up on a shelf. Bring it out next time we hit Daytona, Talladega. That's a winning piece right there. You can put it in your living room like Denny Hamlin.
I'm not changing my settings.
Yeah, that was
just watching that and seeing it was foretold early in the race. I was like, man, he's on rails,
It really was, Milt, and it happens. Sometimes the car just has that magic moment. Tonight was my night, and I'm so pleased, for all the years I've been here. This is number 6, but my first broadcast race, so I'm very happy.
Absolutely, and we are thrilled that we were able to archive it for you. It goes into the FSB Live archives. It's on YouTube. It's not going anywhere, even if we quit doing this. So you can show your grandkids that one.
Well, he definitely deserved deserved and earned that win, so he did a hell of a job.
Oh, yep. I was clenched.
Yeah, I agree.
I know the feeling.
Nose job front all night.
Well, I can repeat all the stuff I said, but probably be better that.
Oh, he's going to watch the broadcast about 6 times, Milty.
Because
I'm going to play it on Father's Day Sunday for the barbecue
Absolutely.
in front of the grandkids. Yeah.
Absolutely. By the way, happy Father's Day, all the fathers.
Cuss words, so
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
But,
Thanks,
hey,
definitely.
Before we go, I want to make
awesome.
sure you guys have my address to send my winnings to.
That's United States Marine Corps right there.
Ah, damn. Okay.
That's P.O. Box 123, Ain't Gonna Happen Drive, Nowheresville, USA, 01234.
But I want to say one thing real quick, and I said it in the broadcast, but I want to say it again real quick. What a great friend Brad has been throughout the years, and what a class act all these years he's been in this league, and see him get a win like this is, chokes me up, man. So, because I know how hard they are, and I've never got one, and
yeah, when you watch it back, you see Milty was losing his mind when he crossed the line there.
I was. When you
I almost ran out of fuel, guys. That was scary.
We were wondering how close it was going to be, too.
I just have to say that to you, Brad, because I know what a class act you are and a friend, and so that's it.
I appreciate it. I really do,
Absolutely.
gentlemen.
Congratulations, Brad. Man, I know how exciting the first one is, so I'm so psyched for you. So proud to have been able to broadcast it and archive it for you. And thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks, of course, my partner, Milton Munter Jr. and Dan Jones joining me on the booth all night. Thanks to Will Farmer checking in after he fell out, too.
I got beer, man.
We got our podium finishers up here: Rick Castle, Mark DeSenza, and Brad Otto. Thanks for stopping in and talking to us after the race here. Thanks, of course, our series sponsor, Bill Farmer, checking in on the YouTube chat as well. Sorry for your early luck there, but thanks for the hardware, Bill. Of course, we thank our series admin, Ryan Johnson, and of course the league promoter and owner, Sam Young. And thanks everybody for joining us out there in YouTube and Twitch land. I'll try and get that Facebook thing fixed next week. I just didn't have the time. And thanks all the drivers, all the fans. I push the buttons. You guys make the show.
Thanks to you too, Sean. And
thanks a lot, guys. You do a great job.
You do a great job, Sean.
So for Milt Winter, for Dan Jones, for FSB Racing, I'm Sean Reap saying good night, everybody. See you next week.